Oh boy. Man, my audio is all jacked up. Hope you guys can hear me. My stream says you can hear me, so I'm going to assume that you can hear me. What's up, Ranger fans, Renegaders, people of all shapes, colors, sizes, genders, everybody who is joining me today. I'm super excited. First of all, timeout. Rewind. I'm Daddy Louie. You are watching Morphinominal Monday. We are painting Power Rangers here on Renegade's stream, Play Renegade, Twitch TV. I apologize in advance if my voice sounds weird and or ends up sounding weird. I'm getting over a cold. I am much better now, but that is still a thing. So, yeah, everybody in my house is sick now. I'm the one recovering, and everybody else is just getting into it. So I'm happy to be down here away from all of their sickness. Anyway, you were expecting me in a Santa suit. You know, I probably should have wore a Santa suit, and I probably should have wore a Christmas hat with my daddy button on it. But if you notice, I'm not even wearing a hat today because all of my hats are upstairs because I haven't unpacked them from my trip to Circle of Nerds Command Central, which was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Actually, I guess it was only 2 weeks ago. It wasn't even 2 weeks ago, was it? Yeah, I guess I came back 2 weeks ago today, and I still haven't unpacked, which is gross. Don't recommend that. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking as much. Actually, I'll probably keep talking the same amount, just not rambling. Let's go down to the table, because you don't want to see my mug. And let's take a look at what we're painting today. So Renegade, if you are not familiar, which most of you should be, Renegade released this super cool Power Rangers holiday pack for Heroes of the Grid, which includes Santa in a Power Ranger suit, thank you, and his enemy here, Heximas, which is this really weird Santa demon thing. Yeah. So this cool little holiday pack that Renegade sent me to paint up, and here are the models, all nice and primed. So Santa looks super duper cool. Yeah, he's going to be a lot of fun to paint. Not really much else to say with that, except it's Santa. And then we have Heximas, which is going to be a royal pain to paint, because as you can see, he has like a million details. His face is like a chimney, which is interesting. Yeah, and then he's got these candles on his shoulder, and he's got this like Christmas tree cane. So he's probably going to take several streams to paint. So it's a good thing that we're getting started on him. But we are going to start with Santa. I went ahead and primed both of them and got them all ready, so we can kind of go back and forth as things are drying. Dino Charge Christmas episode, they saw Santa, yes, but I don't think Santa is actually in a Power Ranger suit in that episode, because I couldn't find any reference photos of of Santa as a Ranger, like he is in this model here, which is super cool. So, anyway, what we're going to use for reference photos is going to be the cards and stuff that came in the pack. So here's Santa Claus. It says Father Christmas. His ability is Bag of Gifts. And then, of course, his Zord, which is a reindeer, which is super cool. And then we have the other cards here. So we're basically going to paint him very similar to, you know, a Mighty Morphin Red Ranger. Not really a whole heck of a lot of difference, except he has that this super cool jacket, which will also be red. It'll just be a different shade of red because I want to differentiate the two reds. Yeah, so we got these super cool cards, which I realize you can't see. And then we have Heximas, which looks like a human person, which was then transformed into something weird. So those are the cards. We'll be using those as our reference photos. And since Heximas, I guess, was on an episode, I can use some reference photos from that, too. All right, so let's get started here with Mr. Claus. His bag, we're going to paint green. The coat will be a very dark maroonish red. And then his uniform will be, like I said, your standard Ranger red there. So let's start with that. I always like to start with inner colors first, and then work my way out. So we'll start with some Mephiston red. Actually, we'll go Evil Sun Scarlet. It's just a little bit brighter of a red. I need to fix this camera here because it's kind of in my lap, and that's weird. Let's look over the chat. AJ says, what's up? What's up, man? You can hear me good. Great. Jay Quellen's here. What up, Jay Quellen? My clothes are still at Command Central. Yeah, I left clothes there, too. I realized that today, actually, in the back room. I still have clothes from the thrifting and stuff. The thrift clothes. I totally accidentally left them, which is what it is. And let's see, Dino Charge, Christmas episode. Yeah, we talked about that. I did both, and it did take longer to paint Heximas. Yeah, for sure. CP Wilson 4 says, hey, what's up, CP? All right, so this is Evil Sun Scarlet. This is a Citadel color. I'm getting pretty low on that, so I'm going to have to refill. We'll go with my number 2 brush to start. Probably will end up switching to a smaller brush, but... And again, I apologize for my voice, and if I cough or whatever, I'm getting over a cold, but that's not going to stop us from painting today. So this arrow on his chest is white, so we'll try and avoid that for now. If we do get some color on it, it's okay, because we can always fix that. Got this little white diamond. I'm realizing that I'm painting over it on his belly, on his bowl full of jelly here. Evil Sun Scarlet is a great Power Ranger color. It's just a very nice, rich, and bright red for any Red Ranger, especially Santa. And we want to have a very noticeable tone difference between his robe and his uniform. It looks like to me the hardest part of this particular model is actually going to be the inside of his cloak here. Because it's so low to the base, it's going to be hard to get my paintbrush in there like that, you see, without going through his legs. And there's not a lot of space there either, so because he's not got nice big thighs. So that's going to be kind of challenging. It's also not a huge deal because the inside of the cloak won't be super noticeable, but it's all right. If I was not painting on stream, if I was painting these models by myself, I think that I would go color for color. So as I'm painting red on Santa, I'm painting the red on Heximas as well. Kind of like batch painting, but we're only doing 2 models, so it's not really like a batch. I'm not going to do that for the stream because it's just boring to watch. You end up only getting like half the models done, if that, and it's just not very exciting to look at. Kind of want to focus on one model. Like I said, I do have 2 primed, and that's mostly so that as if I'm waiting for something to dry, I can hop over to the other model. We do also have the model that we painted last time on stream that's not finished. The front is finished, but remember we didn't finish the back, so we could always jump over to that too if we were waiting for something to dry. But right now I'm just trying to get underneath his. You can't really see it, which is a good thing because I'm probably not doing a great job getting in there, like the back of his legs and stuff. Almost looks orange on screen, but it's definitely not. If you are not, if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure that you do. I try and post the pictures over there. I've been doing a terrible job of posting on my Instagram. I think I did post pictures of everything that we've painted recently on the Facebook group, maybe. I definitely had intentions of doing that. Now I'm questioning myself if I did do that or not, because I'm having a hard time remembering if I did. But anyway, go follow my Instagram. It's at the real REAL, Daddy Louie, one word. Louie is LOUIE, and yeah, go follow me over there. You can follow me on Facebook too, but I don't really. I'm trying to move like all my nerdy, hobby stuff to Instagram, and keep my Facebook as like personal. Oh, let's see, Santa, where's your? Alright, so that arrow is kind of weird, huh? Oops. Alright, let's look at his boots. There's a nice picture here of him kicking a putty in the face. You can see his boots real well. He's got some designs. I just want to make sure that I'm coloring those designs the way that they should be colored. Actually, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush. Lord says, closest Santa has come to being a ranger in continuity was Power Rangers Hyperforce. In that episode of Hyperforce, he had a battleizer armor, and he could combine Magna Defender style with the Slay Zord to become a Santa Megazord. He used it to fight Krampus. Renegade Santa and Reindeer Zord is an original design. Yeah, it's super cool. Super cool original design. Alright, so now we switch to a smaller brush. It's just so that I can do these small lines. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. These lines are teeny tiny. There's art of the Megazord in the Reindeer Zord's sleigh, which I desperately want to see. Yeah, that'd be cool. I was going to put Christmas music on for everybody to listen to while we were painting. But I don't know if Christmas music is like copyrighted like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that we can play Christmas music. So I was like, I guess it's safer to just go with my usual non-copyrighted music there. I know some Christmas music obviously is non-copyrighted. Like, obviously, you know, the big stars who do modern Christmas music nowadays probably copyright their music. You know, we're not going to listen to Taylor Swift or whatever. But I mean, like, classics that have been around for, like, ever. I wonder if those are. I didn't have time to do any research, or I would have. Oof, those lines, I butchered those. It's alright, we all make mistakes, we can go back and fix it later. Alright, so that's his boots and his chest and his pants. Yeah, probably depends song by song basis. Okay. Let me see his gloves. Let's take a... His gloves are white, except he has a red diamond on them, so we'll paint those this color red, too. And then we'll switch over, to our other red. Heat miser or snow miser? Heat miser. Of course. All the way. Heat miser. All right. Looks like his belt is white. Some red details in there, but we'll come back to that later. Florius or Moltar. I don't know what those are. I knew what Heat Miser and Snow Miser was, because I'm old. Okay, switching reds. For the coat, we're going to go corn red. It's like a darker maroon. And that's going to be his coat and his hat. We will do his... we're going to do his bag in like a green. And I'm not sure about the present in his hand. I kind of want it to be a little different. I was thinking maybe like a blue present with a yellow bow. Just to kind of break up the red and the green. I could make the present red with the green bow, I guess. Are there other Christmas colors other than red and green? Not really, right? I mean, I guess all colors are Christmas colors. Silver and gold. Didn't the snowman say silver and gold in, come on, what movie was that? Silver and gold. What is wrong with me? Why can't I think of the name of the movie? I have not seen Operation Overdrive. Christmas at Ground Zero or The Night Santa Went Crazy. I don't know what those are either. You can see the difference in the colors here on the palette in the top right of your screen. Blue Christmas, White Christmas. Those are Weird Al songs. I have not listened to those. I'll have to give them a listen. Blue Christmas, White Christmas. Those are songs too, right? Blue Christmas, White. Blue Christmas, that's Elvis, right? How about this question for the chat? What is your favorite guilty pleasure Christmas movie? So don't tell me, like, you know, ones that are like super popular. Give me like off the wall. For me, it's Jingle All the Way. I know that some people will say, well, that's a popular one. But everybody in my house makes fun of me because it's my favorite. Um, but that's my favorite. I could watch that movie even when it's not Christmas time. Christmas Vacation or Home Alone. I would say those are up there in popularity, especially Christmas Vacation. Home Alone, yeah, that's. I mean, I guess that might be kind of a super popular one too. Um, but which Home Alone? Because I think the second Home Alone is better than the first Home Alone, which I am also told I'm crazy for in my house. Everybody in my house likes the first Home Alone, whereas I like the second Home Alone. Santa got ran over by a reindeer. I have not seen that one or heard of it. More recently, like within the last couple years, Netflix released one called Noel with Anna Kendrick. I love that movie. I just love Anna Kendrick, but I like that movie a lot. So you can kind of see what we're doing here. The red on the coat is more of a traditional Santa, and the Santa color, and the red on the suit is more of the Power Ranger color. I want his Santa suit to be a noticeably different shade of red than his Power Ranger suit. Otherwise, they just kind of blend together, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Right now, I'm trying to get like in the cracks here of the fluff underneath his of the trim of his coat without getting red on it. So it's taking me a little longer. Plus, there's a lot of surface area to cover. All right, which is a better non-traditional Christmas movie, Die Hard or Gremlins? I've never seen Die Hard, so I'm going to go Gremlins, only because I've never seen Die Hard. Which is a different conversation, okay? Let's not focus on the fact that I've not seen Die Hard, because there's probably a million movies I could name that I've never seen, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you've never seen that. Yes, I've never seen Die Hard. There's just never been an opportunity. Nobody's ever sat me down and said, okay, Louie, I'm going to make you watch Die Hard. Just never seen it. I've never seen Die Hard, no. This is a hard one. I don't think there are any Christmas movies that I like that isn't a popular one. Santa Claus the movie with John. Yes, I remember that movie. I mean, when I got married, my wife had never seen The Year Without Santa Claus. And it was like several years before I was able to get her to sit down and watch it. And still to this day, she doesn't know what the big deal is. I'm like, that is just like a classic. But no, I've never seen Die Hard. Give me 10 hours, I'll sit you down, and you'll watch the first 3. So I have seen Die Hard with the Vengeance. Does that sound familiar? I think Gordon Levitt, whatever his name is, dude, was in it. It's the one where like he throws like the helicopter or there's like something with it. It's been a really long time since I've seen it. Like when it first came out. And the only reason that I saw it was because, like it was showing like on an airplane that I was flying on, and I just watched it because it looked like a cool action movie, I guess. I think it's called Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's like the newest Die Hard movie, I think. But even still, it was like, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe more. So this red is really drying dark. Holy smokes. But it looks cool. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yes. What was the name of the movie? There was also one that was just about the reindeer. Was it like... It was like one particular reindeer. He like... I don't know, got loose, and then he like went around the city, and that was a while ago too. That was a long time ago. Don't ask me what that one was called. Prancer, maybe? Is that a movie? You mean the reindeer? Maybe. I don't know. No, 3 is Die Hard with a Vengeance. But the one you're talking, I think, Good Day to Die Hard. Nope, it wasn't that one. Is there one called like Live Free or Die Hard? Is that like the name of one? Because it might have been that one, if that's the name of a movie. And I think it had Joseph Gordon-Levitt. But I could be wrong about him being in the movie. I might just be thinking about him and Batman, and for some reason associating it with a Die Hard movie. Live Free, Die Hard. Yeah, it must have been that one then. Somebody look up if Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in that movie. I know there was a kid, and he was like... He wasn't like a kid, but he was like a kid in the movie. This coat is going to need a second coat, so that's crappy. Yeah, that was Looper. The one that you're talking about with Bruce Willis, that's Looper. But I think he was also in a Die Hard movie. But maybe he wasn't. I guess I gotta watch Die Hard. Everybody says it's really good. Then again, everybody told me that that silly movie with Kurt Russell in it was going to be good too, and I thought it was horrible. Don't get me started about that one. I'm trying so hard not to get red paint on the stuff I want white, but I really am taking too much time doing that. There's all these bits that are supposed to be white, And I'm just trying to go, like, be so careful, and it's, like, not worth it. Big Trouble, Little China. Yeah, that one. Don't get me started on that one. Everybody was like, well, that's just such a good movie. It's a classic. You should watch it. And I was like, what am I putting my brain through? It physically hurts. Physically hurts my brain. Then again, I'm the guy who will tell you that Masters of the Universe is a great movie. And people will laugh at me hysterically until they're wetting themselves because they disagree. So, maybe you just can't please me with a good movie, because I like all the bad movies. I also think Star Wars The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie. I may have just enraged some people, and I apologize. I apologize for you being raged. Yeah, hot takes. You've heard it here. Masters of the Universe is the best movie ever made. Star Wars The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars movie ever made. Big Trouble in Little China is horrible. And John Wick is really stupid. Those are Louie's hot takes for the day. Let's see how many people I made rage there. Did you like Spaceballs? No, I did not. I did not like Spaceballs at all. There were a few parts in Spaceballs that were cheeky and cute, I guess. The problem with these movies is, and this goes for Big Trouble, this goes for Spaceballs, things like that, okay? I didn't watch those movies until, like, the last 12 months of my life. So, I don't have a connection with them from when they first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, go back and watch an 80s movie you've never seen before, and it's probably going to be really bad for you. I never saw Big Trouble when it came out. I never saw... What other one were we talking about? Spaceballs. I didn't see it until, like, recently. And they do not age well. They're really, really, really bad. But I grew up watching Masters of the Universe. So if, like, I show people that movie now and they're like, wow, this is horrible. And I'm like, man, if you were a He-Man fan back in the day, this movie was freaking fantastic. So that's my defense, anyway. I'm just putting a quick second coat here on this jacket because it's very splotchy and I don't like it. He thinks Chewbacca is the worst Star Wars character and did a show about it. Yeah. I did do that. That's true. It's on YouTube. It is on YouTube. I'm noticing some parts of these gloves that are also red, so I'm going to have to go back to my original red there. But there's our coat and our hat and our suit. Have you at least seen Blazing Saddles? Negative. Taken in a vacuum, The Last Jedi is an alright movie. The problem is you can't take it in a vacuum. It's part of a larger franchise, and in the scope of the larger franchise, it's crap because it derails from the entire franchise. That is my hot take. Okay. Well. What are your opinions on the other movies that are attached to The Last Jedi? So what are your opinions on Rise of Skywalker and what was the other one called? You know what I'm talking about. The Force Awakens. I can defend The Last Jedi all day long. Like, you throw a problem with me with The Last Jedi, I have a solution for it, and why it's not that big of a deal. First of all, Kylo Ren, cinematically anyway, is the best Star Wars villain we've ever seen. Cinematically, I won't touch the cartoons and stuff, because I realized that they did good stuff with the cartoons. But Vader, they never showed his true potential the way that they... Like, you look at Vader and I realize that it's because, like you just said, you have to take the whole thing as one big story, right? So we see Vader in Rogue One wreck face, and everybody lost their mind, right? Everybody loves that scene when Vader wrecks face in the at the end of Rogue One. I don't know anybody who says, "Oh, that's terrible." But it, for the story, as far as story goes, and canonically, talking canon, right? It doesn't make any sense that he was that vicious. Because fast forward, like 5 days later in the timeline, where he fights Obi-Wan on the Death Star, he uses no force powers whatsoever. He just uses his lightsaber. And he barely does anything remotely close to showing the power that he showed, quote unquote, 5 days earlier in Rogue One. Again, timeline wise. But nobody complains about that. Nobody's like, oh man, they shouldn't have put that scene in there, because everybody likes looking at it. But really, it messes with showing the true strength of Vader. Vader was always a mystery, and we liked him being mysterious. We knew he was a big bad guy, but we didn't need, and we never needed to see him do that. You know what I mean? We never needed to see him go in and just destroy 10 little dudes in like 5 seconds. The mystery of his power was what made him cool. And he looked cool, obviously. But they kind of wrecked that with Rogue One. But again, nobody complains about that. And it drives me crazy. It's like, if you're going to complain about The Last Jedi, Why not complain about stuff like that? See, it made sense what they did with... Oh, I understand that they made it at the end of the 80s, but they knew what they were doing when they added it into Rogue One, and they didn't care about, they could have just left it alone, left his power a mystery. Rogue One was still a great movie even before that scene happened, That was a fan service. And again, no one complained about it because it looked cool. But Luke, who, people argue is the greatest Jedi of all time, force projects himself across the galaxy to save his sister and sacrifices himself in the process to do that. Everybody complains about that because, whatever reasons they complained about it. When that was, in my opinion, one of the coolest things we've ever seen in Star Wars. Like when they added the scene in The Mandalorian with Luke, doing very similar to how Vader did at the end of Rogue One, that's fine because that's backtracking. We hadn't seen Luke show his full power yet, and now we're seeing Luke's full power at a time where he would have been fully powerful, if you will. Totally fine, fits the timeline, fits the story really well. Vader wrecking face in Rogue One, and then fast forward 5 days later, or however long it was, while, he had Leia captured, and he's fighting Obi-Wan, and he can barely move from the waist up, uses no force powers whatsoever to fight Obi-Wan. It just didn't make sense canonically. And keep in mind, I love all of it, so this is just me basically being devil's advocate here, because I love all Star Wars. So, all right, so that is our reds done. I may add red. I don't know what these... Let me look at these cards here. Let's take a look at some of these cards. Let's see if Santa is doing anything with this. So it looks like on here... Oh, he does have the present, and it is green and red. So we may do that. Just to match the picture here. So we're looking at the photo. And you can see here on the left and the right of the bag that he's holding. The toy bag, it's white, so we are going to paint that white. Okay, so let's see what kind of greens we want to use here. Excuse me. Maybe a mossy green? I don't know if we want like a dark green or a light green. Let's see. Let's take a look at our Reaper. This is a color set that we don't usually use. Let's take a look at this. Is this your Santa box or Renegade's? This is mine from Renegade. I love most Star Wars content. Force Awakens is fine. It copies A New Hope too much, and the world building is awful. Rise of Skywalker is awful because Last Jedi beheaded on the ongoing plots, so there was literally nothing else they could do going forward. Force Awakens is too derivative of A New Hope, and Rey is way too one-dimensional. There was potential with Finn's backstory that unfortunately... Yeah, I will say that Finn is probably one of the... my biggest issues with the sequels, because he was a wasted character. They could have done so much more with him that they didn't do. I don't know if I like this color green. Yeah, I don't know if I'm a fan. This is mossy green from Reaper. Reaper will require many coats, so that's not a huge deal because I know that going into it. Yeah, I'm going to cease using that color before I even finish it because I'm not liking the consistency. Do you have plans in the future to play as Santa? I do. Do you think it has more to do with the situations at hand? Rogue One, he's desperately trying to stop the plans getting out. On the Death Star, he's facing an old Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's overconfident and doesn't think any kind of tension in him about it, to the point that through the mask, he looks surprised that he beat him so easily. That's kind of a good point. Let's try Wog Flesh from GW here. See if I like that a little more. Come on. It's like being a pain coming out of the bottle. Please, it's an excellent point. Excellent point, sir. 10 points for Gryffindor. Yeah, this is much better. This is Wog Flesh. This is definitely a better green for what I'm looking for here. Lots of very exciting things for us nerds coming in the next few weeks. Of course, these last few weeks were very exciting. The epic conclusion to Masters of the Universe Revelations is out on Netflix now. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You can binge all of it now. The first part and the second part, highly recommend. Because it's Kevin Smith and it's fan-freaking-tastic. Let's see. Arcane, also on Netflix, has excellent reviews. I haven't seen it yet, but it's getting rave reviews for an animation. Let's see. What else? Ghostbusters came out. Also, absolutely fantastic. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Wheel of Time is out, so if that's your jam, I have not seen it yet, but also heard really good things. Let's see. What else? Not Power Rangers. Pokemon. BDSP, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Out. Been out for, what, 2 weeks now? A ton of fun. Very nostalgic feel. Not much in the way of, like, new Pokemon game feel, but definitely fun nonetheless. And I need more paint. The Witcher Season 2 comes out soon. I'll be watching that for sure. I'm trying to find something to... The thing with these dropper bottles is that, like, they get clogged if you don't use that paint for a while. Let's see. Yes, Spider-Man comes out a week from this Friday. Already got my tickets, so I will be there on Friday to see that. That's cool. Are you excited for the RPG? I got a group together for it. One of my players even drew up the suits for it. The hype is reaching critical levels. I am excited for the RPG. Unfortunately, I don't really have a play group, so I don't know if I'm actually going to get to play, which is kind of a bummer. I got way too much paint on my palette there. Holy crap. So I may just have to live vicariously through other people. I actually haven't even pre-ordered it. I asked Renegade if I could get a review copy so that I could talk to you guys about it on stream and stuff. I haven't heard back yet. If I can't, I'll probably eventually pick it up just to read. But because I don't have a play group to play with, it's kind of meh, you know? I am excited for it for other people who do have a play group. That's cool. I have the deck builder. I haven't played it because the deck builder is 2 to 4 players, I think. It's definitely 2. I do have the, I did just get the G.I. Joe deck builder, which does have a solo mode, so I can play that one. I just haven't had the chance to crack it open yet. It just came in a few days ago, so I'm really excited to check out Renegade's deck builder for G.I. Joe, especially because it has that solo mode, so I can play. I have both PR and Zeo as well. And I ordered the Transformer one, but that's not here yet. I love deck builders, so those were all no-brainers for me. Especially if it has a solo mode. I'm all about it, since I don't have a play group that meets regularly. There's these ribbons on this bag. I guess it's the ribbons that keep it closed. I gotta see what color I want those to be. Again, this is Wog Flesh. It's a really good natural green. I think it's like supposed to be like orc skin. But it works really well for this. see what else we got here. I've already beat the Elite Four and got the National Dex. I think I'm at 139 on the Pokedex, and I'm at the Elite Four. I got to Cynthia last night, and she beat me. So I've got to go back in and try again. But that was like literally last night, as I was like right before bed. Because I ran out of revives. Darn it. Let's see if the picture has what color those straps are. Of course it doesn't. I could keep them white. I don't like that though. 5 tries. Yeah, I only had one Pokemon alive when I faced Cynthia, and she one-shot him, so I knew I wasn't going to beat her. Like I said, I ran out of revives before the 4th trainer in the Elite Four, so I just wanted to get to her and like see what I was expecting, and then she knocked me out, and I saved the game and logged out. So. Seriously, these ribbons right here that come off of the bag, what color do you guys think I should paint them? I really don't know what color to paint them. Garchomp is the hardest. Disappointed at the Gen 4 remakes are 1-for-1. I wanted something like... Face. If you get Hexmix started, I'll be surprised. Yeah, I don't know. He is looking pretty good. Still lots of like little details that I need to do. Silver or gold could work. Those are like Christmas. Yeah, you're right. There's 2 little ribbons, so I could do one of each. I could do a silver and a gold. I think I might paint the present silver and gold too. I was gonna do red and green, but that's boring. Let's put in some metallics in there would be cool. I think one of the reasons that I enjoy BDSP is because I never played Diamond and Pearl, the originals. So for me, them being a 1-for-1 remake doesn't bother me. And the graphics are great. And it's a Pokemon game that I can play that will hold me over until Legends Arceus comes out. So I still play Pokemon Unite daily, but it's getting to the point now where like Season 2 came out, and within a week and a half of Season 2 coming out, I was already Master Rank from playing solo queue. So I still play every day to get my dailies done, but outside of that, like, I don't have a need to play it regularly. Except for when new characters come out, which a new character is coming out this week, actually. So that will take up a lot of my time. different. This is Cadian Flesh Tone is what we're using for the skin here. Oh, shoot. I'm switching to a smaller brush to get his ears. I'm gonna do something a little unique for some of these whites. I shouldn't call it unique because it's not like, it's just unique in that I'm gonna do something different. Alright, let me get out some metallics here. My favorite silvers and golds. Pink boots. I could do pink boots. We watched a new Christmas movie last night called 8-Bit Christmas. It's on HBO with Neil Patrick Harris. And in one of the scenes he has to go to school with girls. Snow boots on. And of course everybody freaks out, and it's really funny. If you haven't seen it, it's cute. I'm painting the box silver, and then I will do the ribbon on the box gold. I feel like I've watched a lot of stuff recently that was like on my list of things to watch that we've been talking about on previous streams. I was like really behind on watching stuff, and I feel well more caught up. Not all the way caught up. I still need to watch like Cowboy Bebop. I started it, but I haven't finished it. And Arcane, and I want to rewatch The Witcher Season 1 to get ready for Season 2. And apparently I need to watch Die Hard. See, it's not even necessarily getting me to watch Die Hard, it's getting my wife to watch Die Hard. We watch pretty much everything together, so... So this is Leadbelcher and Retributor Armor are the two silver and golds that I'm using. Just pretty much the go-to silver and gold here. I don't know if I like both of them being different colors. We'll see. Tried watching The Witcher, but I couldn't get past the first episode. Just felt like everyone was whispering all the time. And then something would happen, and the TV would be blasting from special effects, then they'd be whispering again. I'll have to see if I noticed that my second time watching it. The first time that I watched it, believe it or not, was at the gym, like, while I was on the treadmill and stuff. So I had headphones on, and I'm surprised I didn't get kicked out of the gym from people, like, looking at me funny from why was I watching such a violent and provocative show in the gym, but no one noticed, so all good. That was right before the pandemic when I was literally going to the gym every day. And now I haven't been to the gym since the pandemic, which is very noticeable. But my wife said that she'd be willing to try watching it. So, because she didn't watch it with me the first time. So I'll have to see if I pick up on the whispering versus special effects stuff. I loved it. Like, oh my gosh, it was so good. A lot of people had big issues with the time jumping because the show does a lot of time jumping. Which for me in the beginning, like, I didn't understand that that's what was happening. So I was like hella confused for like the first 2 episodes. But then once I understood that that's what was happening, it didn't bother me too much. I just had to pay attention more. But it's definitely one of those shows, at least the first season. I'm assuming the second season won't be like that. But definitely the first season, like, you have to pay attention. Like, you can't be, like, off doing something else, which usually when I'm watching TV, unless I make, like, a conscious effort, I'm usually playing on the Switch or, you know, editing a video or something. I rarely watch TV while not doing something else. Yeah, season 2 comes out, I think, next week. It might be like the 19th or something like that. It's like pretty shortly after Spider-Man comes out. Oh, Hawkeye, that's one that I haven't watched yet. I've not watched any of Hawkeye. And Book of Boba Fett comes out the 29th. We didn't even talk about that. I feel like a terrible Star Wars fan. But yes, the Book of Boba Fett is coming out. I really like that silver and gold gift there, Santa. Very nice, sir. Great suggestion, chat. I really like how that turned out. It's like different enough. I really like Hawkeye. Yeah, I've heard good things about Hawkeye. I just haven't watched it yet. I was really like wanting to make sure that I saw He-Man before I started Hawkeye, and we just binged He-Man yesterday, so now I feel like I can go start Hawkeye. I also really want to watch Lock and Key. I haven't watched that yet either. All right. I think it's time to... If Hawkeye is better than Falcon and Winter Soldier, those are big words, because Falcon and Winter Soldier was freaking awesome. I loved that show. Loki was good too. WandaVision was okay. Man, I loved freaking Falcon Winter Soldier. Shaking up all through in gray to patch up some of these whites. For me, like, I think you're right, Atomic. Like, I think that, like, it kind of depends on characters that you're, like, previously attached to. Like, Winter Soldier is one of, if not my favorite character in the entire MCU. So, that's one of the reasons that I liked the show so much. For me, I think WandaVision would have been the best if they would have released the entire series in one go. Like, I wanted it to be bingeable. I mean, I want all of them to be bingeable, but wow, I just jacked that up big time. I need to focus on what I'm doing here. Yeah, WandaVision for me came down to pacing. Had I been able to binge the entire thing in one sitting, which I realize I could have if I would have waited, but let's be honest, waiting when it comes to shows like that is tough because then you pretty much have to stay off of all social media because something's going to get spoiled for you. Which happily, luckily, nothing from Hawkeye has been spoiled for me yet, but I mean, hell, there's been times that, like, The Mandalorian, like, I'll wake up at, like, 7 in the morning of Mandalorian, turn on social media, and something's already spoiled. And it's, like, 7 a.m. the day it comes out. So that's mostly why I try not to wait, is just because I don't want anything to be spoiled. So for me, like, had I been able to binge WandaVision, I think it would have been the best show, because the pacing was just very strange, especially in the beginning. Falcon Winter Soldier didn't have that issue, and Loki kind of had that issue a little bit. But with Loki, there was a little too much, like, new character not really having anything to do with the MCU. I realize in the end, it probably is going to have a lot to do with the MCU, but it seemed at first, currently, it has the least impact on the MCU overall, until we see more stuff in the future with the multiverse and stuff like that. Loki just didn't seem to have much to do with the MCU overall. Until I guess the very, very end. But Falcon Winter Soldier did. I mean, it introduced, U.S. Agent, which I think is going to have a big impact later on. It introduced the girl who's going to lead, this other band of quote-unquote heroes. I can't remember her name now. It introduced a new Captain America, obviously. So all these things that have impacts on the MCU overall, I think it just had the most meaning to me. Which is why it's currently my favorite pre-seeing Hawkeye. Hawkeye's not on Netflix. It's on Disney. So if you have Disney, you can watch it. I'm having huge issues covering up the stuff with the white, by the way. I'm having to be careful, and today's not a be careful kind of day. Today's a I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know why this paint is so... It's a brand new bottle. And it's so chalky. Alright, I'm gonna let some of that white dry. You're probably gonna have to do a second coat. I had a lot more oopsies than I thought I did in a lot of spaces. What paint is chalky? I've only had issues with All through in gray. That's exactly what's shocking. Is my all through in gray, and it's like a brand new pot because I just got it. It might just be cold. My basement is freezing. I'm freezing right now. I want to look at my reference photos here, aka the cards, and see if I can see what his morpher looks like. It looks like he has a Mighty Morphin morpher. One that's very similar. So that's what we're going to go with here. I might take a little bit of liberties, since I don't do that very often. I was getting nervous that there wasn't going to be a time to use all through in gray on this model, or I'm sorry, German gray on this model. But I see it now. I see where I can use it on the morpher. So that's what we're going to do. Check your messages for an image. Oh. Oh, I have an image. I have a photo. Oh, look at that. Cool. Oh, you sent me all kinds of images here. Santa looking all beef. He's like got guns, but then he's got his gut. I love it. Okay. Okay. Oh, the inside of his jacket is white. That's perfect. Alright. So I need gold, red, green, and black. So that's what we'll use our German gray for, is the black. Cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at this photo again. So the circle's red, and the reindeer is gold. So we'll do gold, red, green. That's the order that we'll do here. So the reindeer in the middle is gold. And the circle is red. Okay. Gold, red, and then green. All right, Morpher is done. See if I can get a nice close-up so you guys can see it. There we go. There's your Morpher. Alright, let's see if I can... Maybe if I put some agitators in this pot. Got a couple here. Hopefully that'll help stir it up. That's funny, Lord. Let's see if the agitator helped. It did a little, I guess. Just super watery. I don't know why. It's frustrating. I'm gonna have to work on that pot. Take it upstairs with me and just shake it for like 20 minutes. Wife's gonna be like, "What are you doing? Shaking my pot." Normally it wouldn't bother me. I would just skip this step, but I was really wanting to do some shading with contrast rather than shading with a wash. Because I think in this case, these ruffles and stuff, like around the bottom of the cape or the coat and his beard and stuff, would look cool using a contrast as opposed to a wash. A wash, in this case, you'd probably want to use a black wash, and it's just going to dirty up stuff a lot. So using the contrast, you get more color. So in this case, we would use a white wash or a white contrast, which is really like a grayish blue. I think it would look really good on those ruffles. So that's what we're going to try. That's what we're going to attempt on the feathery parts of his coat and his beard. We will leave the whites of the boots and the belt and his chest. We'll just leave those regular white. If you wanted to, you could use a black wash there, but I don't think it's necessary. All right. looking pretty good. Not in love with the bag, but I am in love with the present. The present we might do an actual wash on. I think it would add a little bit of something. A little bit of something. Oh, excuse me. So we got a Racklin Flesh Shade. Flesh Shade is like a reddish brown. It's meant mostly for skin, but you can also use it on golds. So it's going to look nice on this ribbon. I'm actually just going to paint the whole thing and then redo the silver later. But we can also use it for his face, the skin on his face. So let me get a small brush because the bits on his face are pretty small. He doesn't have a lot of skin here. And it really just, anytime that you do skin, in my experience and in my opinion, this wash is a must. It just adds so much to any type of human flesh that you do. And it doesn't matter what skin tone you go with. If you're going for like an African American skin tone, or a Native American skin tone, or Caucasian, it doesn't matter. It's just, you can always brighten it up. It is going to orange it a little bit, but depending on if you're wanting him to be pale or whatever, like, it's just, you know, if you only have 2 washes in your arsenal, obviously the first wash that you always want to have on hand is Nuln Oil, because it's just the universal must-have, I guess. Next best thing that you can get is this Racklin Flesh Shade. Like I said, it works great on metallics. It works great on skin. You can, if you want to, use it as a use it on your browns and stuff too. If you can get another wash, definitely get like a brown wash. But if you can't, this Flesh Shade will work for your browns too. I use Nuln Oil the most, followed very closely by Racklin Flesh Shade. You can use it on reds too. So like if we didn't have a red wash or a brown wash, we could use it on his coat if we wanted to. I'm not going to, because I may not do a wash at all on the coat. We'll see. And that's just going to add a lot to that present once it dries. All right. I'm good with that. Now, the white should be dry, which will... Where is it? So we're going to go with Contrast Apothecary White. This is probably the second or the first most used contrast paint for me. I don't have all the contrast colors. I know some people, when contrast paints came out, they ran out to the store and bought one of every color. I actually followed a YouTuber. I can't think of his name. I feel bad. But I did follow a YouTuber at the time who basically went out, did that, bought all of the contrast paints, and then made like a top 8 essential colors that you should get. And I started with that, And then I got a couple extras, but I think I only have about 10 to 12. Let's see. 8, 12, 13. I have 13 of the, I think there's 36 or 40 colors. And I don't think you really need that much more. If you're going to exclusively be painting with contrast, then by all means get many, many colors. But a lot of the colors are very, very similar. In this case, we're going to be using white. It's not actually white. It's more like a gray. And like I said, I'm going to be putting this on all of the white parts that have, details on them. Basically all of the ruffles. And I want to be controlled here, so if I don't talk a lot, it's because I'm not wanting to get it in. It's okay if it gets on the red, because we can go over the red, but I don't necessarily want it to get on any of the other white. We can fix it if it does. There are no mistakes in painting that can't be fixed. Some suck more than others, obviously, but that's one of my favorite things about painting as a art medium, is that you can always go over something with more paint later, or remove paint if you don't want paint there. It's not like paper and pen, that's permanent, and you have to start over completely. The black contrast paint is also great, especially for me because I don't usually ever, very, very rarely, I don't think you've ever seen me do it here on this channel, prime anything in black. So if you have a model that is particularly has a lot of black in it, and you are like me and prime in white or off-white, then a black contrast is great because it helps you to do a base coat of black quicker. So black contrast is great too. Alright, this is working out superbly. Is that a word? Superbly? Superb-like. Working out well. Okay, so we did the base down there. Now we're doing around the wrists of the coat here. And then we need to do the ruffles on the hood of the coat here. Excuse me. Do the little ball of the hat there. Little ball, jingle ball at the end of the hat. Sorry, I realize you can't see what I'm doing. There's nowhere to set my finger while I'm... Now we need to do the brim of the hat here. I might need to switch to my smaller brush. I only buy what you use that I haven't painted already. As I'm doing this, I realize that I want there to be a distinction here between the ruffles of his costume, or his uniform, and his beard. So I was going to do his beard and his hair in this contrast as well, but I do not want them to look similar. So I'm not going to use this contrast for his hair and his beard. So I am going to use a black contrast for that. Yeah. Excuse me. Did I say black contrast? I meant black shade. But I do not want it to be super dark, so we're going to water it down. I don't have the contrast medium on me. I don't know where it is. I think it's in one of my other boxes. If you have a contrast medium, which I do, as a matter of fact, I'll check real quick. So I'm just putting some of this from the pot into this little cup, because again, I don't want to do straight black shade. This is Nuln Oil. Yeah, I have some. I knew I did. So this is Lahamium Medium. Lahamium Medium. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but it's essentially a colorless wash. So it's going to help you to be able to water down your washes. You could also use water. If you're going to use water, try and use distilled water. I'm just going to try and do like a 1-for-1. Looks about right. You just want it to be more waterier than usual. It looks kind of muted though. I wonder if it got paint in it from my brush. Make sure you wash your brushes really well. I only need a little bit of it, so it's not a huge deal. Again, this is for his beard and his hair. It's okay if you get a little on his skin, because we're going to have to brighten up his skin anyway. Excuse me. Sorry for the snorting and the sniffling in your ear. I know that can't be pleasant. Alright, that's pretty decent. Not great. But it's just to give a little bit of something extra to his beard here. Mostly his beard, because you're not really going to see his hair. He doesn't have very much of it. But I hope that you can see how much better the ruffles on the costume look. On the coat. Sorry, I keep calling it a costume. On his Santa coat. With that white contrast. So let's see if I can get... and that's with doing no extra work to it. We really want this model to look super good, so like you would. So you can take white once this is dry and just whiten up the feathers without getting any white anywhere else. It's not super dry yet, so I'm not gonna keep going, but that's what we're gonna continue to work on to bridge these two things together, because you got this white here and it's really white, and then you've got this down here which has that blue stuff in it. So we want it to blend together. Still having to add extra coats of white to this bag because my paint is not cooperating. But you can see even the present. Look how much better the present is with the wash on there. Really just adds something extra to it. And again, we haven't done anything special to it other than paint it and then put a wash on it. We can make it a little more, especially that silver. We want it to be a little shinier, so we can take some more of our color here and just add it back in. Just being careful not to get on anything else here. yeah, so that's that. I mean, if you wanted to, at this point, you could pretty much call the model complete. Um, of course, you all know me by now, and so you know I'm a perfectionist, and so this to me is not done. um, I really want to. It's close though. We're pretty close. Um, I really want to detail his face, make sure that we get his eyes looking all jolly. I do want to brighten up some of the things that we just put wash and contrast on, his beard and the fluffiness. And that's really about it. I don't think that there's really too much more. We could add a few line details to our line. Yeah, we'll just say details. We can add some more line details. But overall, he's pretty close to complete. I would say we're like 90% there. So we'll save the rest for the next stream. Knock him out really quick in the beginning, and then get started on what's this dude's name? Heximas. Definitely gonna need to find some reference photos for him, because holy guacamole, that is a lot of details. This guy will take us a few streams. So he'll take us into the new year. And then we also got, this guy over here who we needed to finish his back. His front looks great. Super cool. Actually, the more I look at this model, the more happy I am with how the lines turned out. He actually looks really, really good. But, yeah. Santa and Heximas, or whatever this is. Am I saying that right? Yeah, Heximas. Santa and Heximas will bring us into the new year together as we finish up these next couple streams. So, yeah, super happy with how it's coming out. Apologize for my baldness. Like I said, my hat's upstairs. Anyway, I hope everybody is enjoying their December. Obviously, Christmas is around the corner, so if you celebrate Christmas, holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. Anyway, thank you for your attention. I'm Daddy Louie. I do these every other Monday for the most part. We won't be here next week, the week after, which is the 20th, I think, or the 19th. Let's check. The 20th, I got it right the first time. So the 20th will be our next stream. We'll finish Santa, get started on Heximas. And anyway, I don't want to keep you guys any longer. If you want to follow me on social media. If you don't want to follow me, that's fine too. And make sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and remember to play your games. And I'll see you on the next stream. Bye, guys.